I get told all the time, sourdough is hard to make. Chef Robert here from Williams Food Equipment to tell you that it's not hard, it's easy. Follow our recipe and our video and you'll be able to make easy, beautiful sourdough in no time from starter to finished baked product. The first thing you have to know is how to make the starter. And it's easy. Don't use a spoon, get rid of that. You're gonna use your hands. I have 1 cup of whole wheat flour or rye flour, and then you can add bread flour if you want, but it has to be bread flour. And then we've got a teaspoon of yeast. I have half a cup of warm water. Just gonna add that, and we're gonna mix it. Okay, so once that's done, you're gonna cover it with a cloth, and you're gonna come back and feed it the next day. You're gonna do this for 7 days. And after 7 days, it's ready to go. So you can bake with it after 7 days, or you can put it in the fridge. The rule of thumb is, if you're going to use your starter tomorrow, you pull it today, you feed it, you let it feed overnight, and then you use it in the morning. After you're done using it, you feed it, and then you put it back in the fridge. When you take it out of the fridge, it might have a little liquid on top. That's called the hooch. Just mix that in and then add your flour to feed it again. Very simple. So after 7 days, it's gonna look like this, right? And you can see here, we have a marking here about what level it's at. So you can tell if it's rising. And how you can tell it's rising, you see the green right here? See all this residue here? That's how high it's risen. And that's important because after you feed it, it's gonna rise, and that's important. That way you know your sourdough is alive. Now, with respect to yeast, we're using Fleischmann's, doesn't matter which brand, but it has to be instant yeast because you can add it right to the flour. So that's the first step, 7 days to make your starter. And once you have your starter, then you can start making your sourdough bread. So we have 5 cups of bread flour only. You can't use all-purpose flour. 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour, a teaspoon of salt, and half a tablespoon of yeast. And for my sourdough bread, I add a little bit yeast. It rises faster, and I think it comes out with a much better product. So here we go. And we have 725 milliliters of water. So into the flour, we're gonna add our 1 cup of starter. Again, the starter's been fed last night. So when you got up in the morning, it's ready to go, it's active. 725 milliliters of water. We're gonna use a hook. And we're gonna mix this until it comes together, but we know that the gluten is developed, and I'm gonna show you how we stretch the gluten, stretch the flour, so you can see the gluten contents right. Now, water and flour, more flour in the summer, and more water in the winter because of the humidity, and winter's very dry, and you can see this is very dry, so I have a little bit of extra water here. And you see how dry that is, so I'm just gonna add maybe a 1/4 cup. You can always add more. And it's gonna mix for 3 minutes until it's together. And then we're gonna mix it for 5 minutes. And that will develop the gluten and get that stretch we're talking about. But again, see, it's still pretty dry. So we're gonna add another 1/4 cup of water. And don't be afraid, because you can always add a little more flour if you need to. So how do you know it's on the right track? You pull it out and it's a little bit sticky, see that? So we're in pretty good shape there. So we're gonna continue to mix. Okay, so now we're gonna check to see if we have that stretch we need. So you just ball it up in your hand and I'm gonna pull. And see how I'm pulling? And it's kind of not pulling very much, right? And it's kind of See how it breaks there? See how it broke? So when you pull, it breaks. It's not ready. It needs to be a little bit more, the gluten has to be developed a little bit more. That's the protein in the flour. And we want this to stretch about a good 4 or 5 inches. See how it's breaking there? So that means we got to mix it more. Probably a couple more minutes. You can't over mix it, so don't worry. Okay, and the mixing time is not important. What's important is that the dough stretches, right? Because that's what you need in order for the bread to expand. And so you can see I'm pulling. And now you can see it's really pulling and stretching nicely. See that? Right, and it's starting to break now, but it's stretched pretty good. So that's ready to go. And it, takes 5-6 minutes, but you're gonna, again, you want to pull it. That's what tells you if the dough is ready. So this is the first part ready, and now we're gonna go to the fermentation process. You can see it's nice and clean here. That's another sign that you can take it out of the bowl. So once you know it's stretching, you get that stretch, that's important, and it's nice, clean in the bowl, it's ready. And now we're ready to start fermentation. So put that just right there for now. So I have this spray. It's 3 parts water to 1 part oil. It's got to be canola oil or vegetable oil. And this is like an anti-stick spray. So I'm going to use this. And this will just make it come out here easier when you're ready to take it out. So I'm just going to spray that. And there it goes. And we're going to cover that. And we're going to mark this bulk fermentation. And that's the first proof, and it's the most important proof, and we got to go 2.5 to 3 times. So bulk, first proof, and proof means that the yeast is working. So right along here, right, you can see it's right even with the dough. And this has got at least 2.5 to 3 times. So now I've done that ahead of time. And so here we go. First proof, second proof, and then we have the third proof, which is ready to bake. And this is the process. So dough's made. Bulk fermentation, you can see the line, and it's got at least 2.5 to 3 times, right? That's important. This is the most important fermentation. So after this, when it gets to this point, we're going to punch it. So I'm going to take my hand and I'm just going to punch it. But see all that air in there? So now, see how that's gone down? I would take another piece of paper, tape, and I'm going to mark it. And this is called second proof. And this has got to double in size. So we're going to let that sit. We've done that. And now this is second proof. And you can see it's doubled in size. That's where it's at, and it's doubled all the way up to here. So we punch this down. And again, see all that air in there? That's what you want to see. So now we're going to punch it down. I'll get these out of the way. We make the dough, we proof it, bulk fermentation, double in size, triple in size. Then we punch it down, and then we proof it again, second proof. The third proof is in the container you're gonna bake it in. So that would be this Banneton bowl. And so we're just gonna put this here, a little bit of flour. Just gonna put a little flour here. And we're gonna, and see how nice and clean that comes out? Because we put that spray in there. So now this is ready to shape. And we'll put it in this bowl. Okay. Okay, so we're just let that sit there and then we're gonna get ready to do this. Okay, so now I have a scale here. This batch of dough you have makes roughly 4 pounds of dough. Into one Banneton bowl, we put 2 pounds. So we're gonna scale this. Perfect, 2 pounds. Right, now this you could put another Banneton bowl. So shaping the dough, okay? So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna just turn it with your hands. You're making a ball, okay? And you're pinching the bottom, see that? Pinching the bottom. And you want it to be nice and smooth. So that's ready, okay? So we're just gonna put it down there in the flour. Now, for the preparation of the Banneton bowl, we're gonna take some flour. And so how you prepare this when you buy it, you spray it with a little bit of water and you do what I'm doing right now. Put some flour in it and you do that twice before you're gonna use it. So do it a couple days ahead of time. And get the bowl and see that, and you're just gonna turn it out. You're not gonna bang it. You don't wanna bang it too hard because then you lose all the flour. So in the flour goes. Again, first time you get it, you're gonna spray it with water, do this. Just shake it out, just like that. Perfect. And you can see it's got enough flour in there. Don't be afraid if you have too much flour. You need some flour. So now, this is all rolled. You're gonna cover it in flour. And the bottom side up. And you're gonna cover it and you're gonna let that proof until it's double in size. And so for a reference, you see the difference? You want it to be this size. So remember, make the dough. Bulk fermentation, first proof, double and a half or triple in size. Punch. Second proof, punch, but it's got to rise to twice. Then you punch it down, you shape like we just did, put it in the bowl, and see how it's double in size? And then at this point is when you cut it and you put it in the oven. Third proof happens in the container you're gonna bake it in. And we have a Dutch oven in here, and I put it in the oven so it gets nice and hot. Okay, so that's the first step. Put your Dutch oven in the oven, set to 450 degrees. Okay, so remember, this is hot, right? So you try to put a cloth over here a few places so you don't forget, so you don't get burnt. Over here, we have it all ready in a Banneton bowl, and we're just gonna turn it over. And we're just gonna set it like that and give it a shake. And see how it plops out? Beautiful. And you see you got the designs from the bowl, so that's a beautiful part of getting the bowl. So now, I use a serrated knife. You could use a lamb, but I use a serrated knife, and we're just gonna cut it, and we gotta cut it at least 1 inch. And you can see that, nice 1 inch cut. Now we're gonna take this and put it into the Dutch oven, just like so. Remember, it's hot, lid on, and we're gonna cook that for 15 minutes, and that's where all the steam's gonna come from. So set a timer for 15 minutes, and in the oven it goes. You can see here, it's ready. So now it's ready to come off. It's starting to brown. It's doubled in size. That's called oven spring. So we're gonna put it back in, and we're gonna cook it to 200 degrees. And then we'll check the color. If we like the color, we'll take it out. If we're not, we'll put it in for a little bit longer. So now another 10 minutes. Look at that. It's ready. We're gonna check the temperature, but it should be 200 degrees. So we'll put the thermometer in there, and we're we're looking for 200 plus. And there you can see, hopefully you can see that, it's 205. So that's ready. So we're gonna take that out. Be careful, it's hot. And I'm gonna just flip it out. And there you go. And you can see the bottom's cooked as well. And that's done. So we have, we're gonna move this in here. We're gonna try to cut it. I have another one here I baked. So you can see the difference. It's had a little more flour, different look, right? So we're gonna, oh, okay, we're gonna give it a try. It's sometimes hard to cut it. And look at that. Beautiful. So I'm going to cut this other one so you can see what it looks like after it's. Same thing. Beautiful. It's baked. Not as hard as you thought. Easy peasy. And there you go. So now you know how to make sourdough. Don't be afraid. Just get in the kitchen and let's get baking. Chef Robert for Williams Food Equipment.